Hi everyone, this is Tony Richards, and on this week's episode of your development process and helping you grow yourself, we want to go through 5 important questions that leaders ask themselves. Now, I've got hundreds of interesting questions that I use to facilitate panels and to facilitate groups and things of that nature to create leadership discussion. But for this particular part of your process to grow yourself, I want to get to 5 really in-depth, introspective questions that I have noticed that leaders who operate at a very high level use to really get in depth and chart their journey for this leadership adventure. The first question is simply, who am I? And who am I is the authenticity question. And authentic leadership has been a term that's been kicked around the last 4 or 5 years. It's become one of those very popular buzzwords. And being authentic as a leader is simply opening yourself up and letting the true you come to the surface. You know, as we grow and as we become more experienced, we have a tendency to begin to wear masks, and we put up defense walls to protect ourselves from perceived danger. So when you start asking yourself questions that are authentic, like who am I really? You strip away all those outside walls, you strip away all those defenses, you strip away those masks that we wear and get down to the real authentic you. Now, here's some of the things as far as that question is concerned. What are your values? What do you think as far as life goes, what do you think are some of the most valuable things? What's valuable to you? What's most important to you? What are some of your dreams? What are some of your hopes? What makes you tick, right? What gets you going? What energizes you? What are your preferences? How do you like to be communicated with? How do you not like to be communicated with? So when we get down to the real authentic you, we're finding out what really causes you to function and what causes you to tick. So that's going to give you quite a few things to journal about this week. Who am I? The authenticity question. Number 2 question, where am I going? Where am I going is the clarity question. And when we have clarity in our life, we have power in our life. When we don't have clarity in our life, we have pain. Non-clarity creates a very special kind of pain that we don't really like. When we feel like we're a Ferrari in a fog, we've got all these great functions. We feel like we could get out on the desert and we feel like we could open that baby up and just let it run. And we just feel like we're that kind of leader and that kind of individual, but we're sitting still, our motor's not running, and we're surrounded by fog. We can't go anywhere, we can't get energized, and we can't move. And we can't see, right? And so people can't follow you if they can't see you. And you can't lead if you don't know where you're going. So where do you want to be at the end of your life? Your life's valuable. So you need to think about what course that you are charting for your life. Where do you want to be? What are your goals? Where are your goals taking you? Your daily decisions you're making, where are they taking you? What is the mountain you are climbing? You know, I heard someone say once, and I thought it was extremely powerful. He said, I would hate to think that I've spent my whole life climbing this mountain, and I get to the top of it, and I've gone up the wrong mountain. My mountain was really over there. And so we need to figure out, are we on the right mountain? Are we climbing the right hill? And finally, leadership's about being clear and deliberate. Nobody wants to follow somebody who's not clear about where they're going, and they're not deliberate about their actions. Because when you're not deliberate, it makes people nervous. Question number 3, what should I be doing? What should I be doing is the intention question. And power equals intention. You will only do the things that you have a large degree of intention about. In other words, you'll only do the things that are really important to you. Importance equals intention. So a lot of times when I talk to people about goal setting, and in a future episode, we'll talk about goal setting, but I'll just give you a little preview that when you set a goal or when you decide on an action, get in the habit of listing your intention on a scale of 1 to 10. And here's what I will tell you. If your intention level, if the why you want to do it is not approaching a 7 or more on the scale of 10, forget it. You're not going to do it. And then your intention can wane over time. You can start a diet and exercise program at the beginning of the year and your intention level is 10. And for the first couple of weeks, that intention, that why you want to do it, drives you forward. And somewhere around 6 or 7 weeks, your intention level slowly but surely fades away. And correlating with that, your activity slowly but surely fades away. So you got to keep your intention high. And one of the ways you can do that is when the going gets tough, go back to why you started to begin with. Go back to your why. Number 4, how can I get better? You are already thinking about how to get better, and how to get better is the mastery question. And in a future episode, we're going to talk about how the best get better. It's not good enough just to be best. You need to be better than the best, right? You need to learn how to think better, how to be more passionate, how to get better, how to become a master in leadership and in the specific industry or the specific skill that you have. You need to hone that and get better and get better and get better. Be like Eric Clapton and the guitar. Learn how to demonstrate mastery with it. Number 5, how do I want to be remembered? How do I want to be remembered is the legacy question. Just a quick story. I was called once to work with this organization by some employees because the culture was, in their estimation, not very good. They had been to some of my leadership development sessions, and they wanted me to come and meet the president and CEO of the organization. And he had about 5 more years left before he was going to retire. And we talked about developing culture and implementation of strategy and how to change things for the better. But I told him, and this is the straight truth, I told him, I said, culture change does not happen unless you are totally bought in and committed. And unless you are willing to change some things and you are willing to get on board, this will never even leave the dock. This will be the same boat parked in the same dock this time next year as it is this year. And we can do one of 2 things. If you decide to get committed and we implement some of the suggestions that I have and we do some of the things to help do some change management initiatives in the organization, you can either have one of 2 packages. You'll get the statue out front package. And the statue out front package is when you leave here in 5 years, these people will be so excited, so enthused, and they will love you so much that they'll want to put a statue of you out front. Or you'll get the thank God he's gone package. And in the thank God he's gone package, they're wishing that you might retire in 1 year and you would get out of the way so the organization can get better. And you know, we had a good conversation, but our next meeting was at 8 o'clock the following week on a Thursday, and he called me at 7:30 and canceled, and I could never get him on the phone again. So it just depends on how important your legacy and how you want to be remembered is important to you. And in doing that, you have to do things your future self will thank you for. You have to do things your future self will thank you for. What will you regret if you don't do it? I'll see you next week.